Boys and girls, good morning. I'm very, very grateful to you for having accepted to invest about 4,000 seconds of your Sunday morning. And I just said that people who are prepared to spend that type of time, not spend, but invest that much of time on a Sunday, leaving their family time and sacrificing their shopping and their malling and their clubbing, are certainly people who are on the path to develop themselves. They want to grow, they want to see something, and that's why they prioritize learning. I'll begin by giving you a little background of why I'm doing this webinar. And the first thing I want to tell you, and I want to show it to you, I want to make it in writing, that you see what I'm saying. Just 1 second, let me have my PPT on. Yeah, here it is. So I'm sure you can see my PPT. So for those who don't know me, to introduce myself, I'm Brigadier Sushil Bhasin. I served the army for 34 years. I'm from Shimla. At all, I settled down in Mumbai in 2004 when I stepped out of the army. You can all see I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer, I'm a coach. I can hear some disturbances. Please keep your mics muted if they are not muted centrally. Please make sure that your mics are muted, otherwise your sounds around you will come into the system and will disturb all of us. Right. So the first thing I was saying is that I am not a TEDx representative. I am not saying anything officially about TEDx. I am only sharing my personal experiences. And I would like to say, don't believe what I say, because that was my experience. You will have to experience your own. So take whatever I say from the face value of it. If you trust me, if you know how it came for me, your life may be different, your experiences may be different. So please take it with a pinch of salt, take it, assess it, and then use the information that I'm giving you today. Okay, so a little bit about my story. I started speaking when I was a little boy in class 7. And I have participated in debates, in declamations, and all that, right? Okay, Dr. Ram has joined, and he's from Singapore. Dr. Ram, thank you very much for joining. I think to be spending a Sunday afternoon, because Singapore is afternoon now. Thank you very much. Okay, so I was saying that I have been speaking from the time I was in class 7. And speaking came to me very naturally. So really speaking, when people say I have a stage fright, I really don't know what stage fright is, because I've never had it. Maybe I had it when I was in class 7, I've forgotten about it. All the time in the army, we were speaking. Every time, from a time you're a junior officer, you address your company, you address your battalion, so you're addressing people, your Jawans. And you have to be very articulate, because you are speaking to Jawans whose communication skills are not as good as yours. So you have to make it simple for them. That there is something which I found called art and science of speaking. Art and science of speaking. I've read a lot of articles on this subject. Is speaking an art, or is it a science? And I certainly feel it is both. So when it comes to TEDx, I want to tell you that there is a science, and the science is the limits, the rules that bind you with certain things. It tells you have to finish your talk in 18 minutes. It tells you can't read on from a paper. It tells you that you can carry a couple of cue cards, but no more. You have a timer in front of you, and that's the most dreadful thing I've ever seen. And it runs much faster than you can run. So you wonder, the timer is running much faster. Even in breaking barriers, you must have noticed one lady from USA said, oh, I think this timer is running too fast. So you get used to that. So what I'm telling you is, it is a science when it comes to a structured talk, and when you have to follow certain rules, when you have to follow certain norms, as also from the speaking point of view. If somebody was to tell you that there's a way to start, there's a way to end, and there's a way to bring your story to the climax in the middle. Now that becomes science. But the art of speaking, and so important in TEDx, is the idea, is the story, is the way you tell your story and the end message. After 18 minutes, what are these people taking home as a value? Are you giving them a caution? For example, you say, if you don't look after nature, if you don't look after pollution, the world is going to be so bad. You left them with a caution. Or if you tell them the next world war is probably going to be because of shortage of water, you left a message. You talked about the importance of water and left with a message. So it could be something which is alarming, which is scary, or something which is hopeful, something which is nice. Like I'm going to tell you today, each one of you are capable of becoming a TEDx speaker. Because becoming a TEDx speaker, unlike an actor, is not only talent, it is a learnable talent. If you follow the structures, you follow the step-by-step procedure, then I feel anyone can become a TEDx speaker. We have a professional speaker in Singapore. His name is Hitesh something, I don't remember. He's an Indian from Rajasthan, settled in Singapore. He is suffering from a natural disease. He can't talk properly, he stammers like mad, and he gets very highly paid. He's a TEDx speaker. So that means your speaking skill, your oratory will not come in your way. You can learn it. So I want you to look at the art and science of TEDx speaking. And when it comes to the science of it, you just have to go to TED.com. So I'll put it on the chat window. You will see this coming up. And I want all of you to go step by step and see every part of TED.com so that you understand the science part of it. You understand the rules, you understand the norms, so that you can start preparing for it right from the beginning. Okay, so I feel we have got some more people who have joined in. So last one was Dr. Ram. Surekha is from Hyderabad. Okay, so now I'm not going to interrupt and I'm not going to see who all are coming in. So all those who come in now will be assumed to be welcomed. Couple of rules before we get on to the main talk, and that is you all have a chat window. You have a choice of chatting with everyone or with someone in particular. So you want to just pass a message to me. You can say for the host, which also includes my friend Anshav from Bringal Academy. You can type a message to say I want to speak, and we'll unmute you to speak when your turn comes. You have a question, you can put it there, whether we answer it now or we answer it later, whatever. Whether we answer it in text format or we answer it on the voice format. So all these type of things you should be conversant with. Okay, let me tell you today that today I am on Bringal Academy platform. It is my first experience with Bringal Academy. I've been associated with them for just about 2 weeks. And I met this boy, Anshav, on 3 occasions. And of course, spoken to him a lot on electronic media. What Anshav is bringing, not to India, but to this world, is a beautiful learning platform. It is blended learning. Blended learning is that he's giving you an experience of doing offline. That means there are some webinars and seminars which are combined. You'll do a seminar in a hall where 20, 30, 40 people, 100 people may be participating, and thousands more in the world could be watching it and be equally engaged. He's going to offer you online courses, offline courses, and all types of learning at a very, very affordable price. And the best part is, many of his things are free. So, firstly, let me express my gratitude to Bringal Academy, which is Anshav Jain and his team. Very fine people, very dedicated people, prepared to come on a Sunday and work extra when they're not paid for. Motivated people, creative people. So yeah, somebody said, thank you, Bringle. Tejal said that. Yes, everyone needs to thank Bringle for giving us this platform. Now let's move further and let me start with the point. And the point, okay, let me come, before that point that I'm talking about is why TEDx is different. What is so different about it? But before that, let me tell you, 2 years ago, when I saw a lot of TEDx talks, I also had this feeling to say, let me join TEDx. So according to what I've been getting right now, I feel all of you look like being aspirant TEDx speakers. So I'll request Anshu to put the poll on. Let's see how many of you here want to be TEDx and want to be TED speakers. So just in your poll, write yes or no, as and when the poll comes. Okay, yeah, so here's the poll. So do you aspire to be a TEDx speaker? Tell us yes or no. Have you ever spoken at TEDx? Again, say yes or no. And do you want to be on stage yet in the process of overcoming your fear of public speaking? So there's the 3 questions. Please answer them and let's see what answers we get. You have exactly 10 seconds because it won't take more time to answer these questions. Okay. So thank you very much. Now, once you have done that, and we'll see the results of the poll coming soon, I also want you now to quickly write down the answer to why do you want to be a TEDx speaker? And that's very important for us to start. Why? Why do you want to be a TEDx speaker? I want everyone here, everyone without fail, to write down because I would like to get an idea as to what makes you feel that you want to be a TEDx speaker. Okay, Anu has to leave, doesn't matter. Thank you, Anu, for coming. And let me tell you, the recording is available. So you can, when you're free, you can have a look at the recording and you will be able to catch up. We'll miss your participation. That's it.
Should I end the polling, sir?
Yeah, please end the polling. Yeah. Okay. So now I need to see answers of why do you want to be a TEDx speaker. So Naresh says, I have a story to share to the world about myself. Brilliant. That's a very good reason. Sharmila is from Bringle, and she says, I have an inspiring story to share. Anoop says to share knowledge. And Tejal says to reach more people to make them understand the benefits of organic products and also to overcome my fears and be a leader. Okay, so mostly what is coming to is that you want to be sharing knowledge, you want to be sharing experiences, you want to be a leader, you want to transform people, you want to help them. I can see Brigadier Jan Tiwari joining. Jan, please raise your hand. Yeah, welcome. Okay. So I want to connect. Amit Kapoor says, I want to be a TEDx speaker to connect with people and I have a story and experience to tell that can help them. Very good. It also, Harjot says, I want to live that experience which will give me experience that can help others. So we are all talking about sharing experiences. But I'm sure then why TEDx? One, because it is a reputed platform. I think today in the world, that is the most accepted, most creditable. So when I wanted to, 2 years back, be on the TEDx platform, it was to share a story, to share my knowledge, to share my experience, as also to do it on a creditable platform. In 2015, I attended a workshop by Tony Robbins in Singapore. And there Jerry Roberts said, if you are a trainer, be a STA, be a speaker, trainer, author. That means if you're a speaker, trainer, author, they complement each other. And therefore, if you are a speaker on TEDx, it'll help you pass your messages. So my message goes through the book, my message goes through the blog, my message goes through training, and my message also goes through speaking. Now, when I decided to go for TEDx, I didn't know how to go about it. So I went to the TEDx or the TED.com, searched all over, and I found that there was a place there, and I want to share that link with you soon, which said you can please don't speak in between and mute your mics. I'll be very grateful because disturbances are coming. Right. I want you to see the TEDx website properly, and there you will find a link which I'll share with you on your on the screen very soon. It'll be in the chat box where you can nominate yourself. You can nominate yourself, or you can be nominated by somebody else. I'm told by some people that if somebody else nominates you, that is more authentic, that is more powerful than self-nomination. So you could also do that. You can ask some people who are already TEDx speakers to nominate you, and people will nominate you if they have that you have a message, you have the capability, and you are ready for it. They will nominate you. Right. The next thing I want to talk about is that when I went for this, I wouldn't get any reply. And I'm told that a lot of people don't get a reply. And if you see the footnote there says that we get thousands of messages. We'll keep you in the database. We'll tell you when an opportunity comes, and we are not able to answer everyone. Then just by a stroke of luck, a college in Navi Mumbai, somebody got to know me through LinkedIn and asked me if I would like to speak. And I said yes. And then we went through a process, and after 1 month, this team said, sorry, sir, we cannot take you as a speaker because your subject does not resonate with us. To tell you frankly, I was disappointed. But when I went and analyzed, probably my structure and whatever information they wanted a PPT, was not expressive enough. I don't have to be only a good speaker. I don't have to be only having a good idea, but I also need to communicate it in the proper way. So that means preparation for TEDx starts from putting an idea into a written format, into a PPT format, so that when you go and offer yourself as a speaker to get invited, it gets attracted. Now, when I went through a little telephone conversation with this girl who was heading the committee for selection of speakers, she said, sir, for the students, this subject is not very exciting. It's not very interesting. And the subject was on time, because I started writing my book on that is $1 Million Second. And I thought it would be a good idea for TEDx to promote it. So that idea fell flat because that subject, that theme did not inspire these students. Then I got to know that you go to again that same website and you will find TEDx.com/TEDxX/events. And even on the website, you'll find a tab of events. So when you go there, you will be able to get a complete list of TEDx events that are coming up. So you can say in Mumbai, you can say in India, wherever you're prepared to travel, and you will get to know which are the forthcoming TEDx events. So I will suggest, first thing, start from a small or a college, because there it's easier to get an entry. You get a good rehearsal, you get a good opportunity, you come online, and then go for something like TEDx Gateway and all, which are more professionally organized. So the first thing I'm telling you as a tip is, find out a college, find out events that are coming up, look at an event at least 6 months from now, so that I think it takes at least 6 months to get to an idea, articulate it, prepare a script, rehearse it, and be prepared for a TEDx event. It doesn't happen in just a few days. I read somewhere there's a formula, and I would quite accept that that is a good formula, that for every minute of a talk, you should be doing 2 hours of preparation. At least 1 hour. If you're a good speaker, who's an experienced speaker, 1 hour per minute. So if I'm going to speak for 18 minutes at TEDx, I should have done 18 hours of rehearsals. That does not include the preparation time of content development and script writing. Okay. So from my story, what I understood was that I took 2 years, but I would like you to do it in 6 months flat if you want to be a TEDx speaker. Okay, and that's my aim today, that I don't want my friends who are speakers or who are aspiring speakers to spend 6 months or 2 years, 2 years to do that. Okay, so you can see some of the links coming up, and Ansha, please put up those 2 links from my Word document also here, which are, if they don't come up, I will put them up later, either on the WhatsApp group or on the chat box. So you get the links, and the links are all derived from TED.com. Right. Now let me go to the next point and tell you what is, just a second. Yeah, okay. Are you able to see my screen? Just a second. Just a minute. I am unable to control my. Okay. Can somebody, Anshav, can you tell me whether my screen is visible or not? Because I can't now get the other one.
No, your screen is not visible for a long time. Somebody else was sharing his screen, so we have to
can you see that others don't get that? Okay, now I am able to see. So I'm sharing my screen now. And now for some time, I will be on my PPT so that you can, yeah, okay. Okay, I think now you should be able to see my screen. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So now what I'm talking about is, okay, just a very small background, that TED started in 1984 and it was technology, entertainment and design. But now it has covered to a large variety of topics from actually there's no topic under the sun which is not covered. They have about 110 languages in which TED is organized. And independently run TEDx events are the community programs which are done locally by organizations and individuals under a license from TED, which is a free license. What I want all of you to remember over and over again is that TED is all about ideas worth spreading. And when we are saying ideas worth spreading, it also means whether it's your own story, whether you have an idea, whether you heard it from somebody, but it must give a value to the listener or to the audience, to the viewer. So that is important. Okay. Now, so I want all of you today to go and write down, why do you want to be a TEDx speaker? Is it only because of sharing an idea? You want to become a popular speaker? You want to, through speaking, progress into your career? All that should come up as bullet points of why do you want to be a TEDx speaker? Because it is very important that any project we take up, the why of it should be very clear. If your why is clear, the what and how will be easy to form. And this is one of those famous Simon Sinek's TED Talks called Start With Why. Okay, or it's called the Golden Circle. Then I want you to say by when. So to make a goal, let's make it a SMART goal. I want to be a TEDx speaker by December 2019. And then say, once you become a speaker, what will you achieve? So your end goal is known. And then you also, while in your preparation, you keep the end goal in mind. That is important. Okay. Now, science and art of public speaking, I've already told you, so I will not repeat that. Yeah, here is the link of the TED.com. Simple. Now, how is it different? This is important, and I want to spend a little time on why is TEDx different. So TEDx in particular is what we are referring today. But what I'm going to be talking about is applicable whether you want to talk on Josh Talks or Ink Talks or on Bringle Talks. And we are going to spend a little time later in telling you about Bringle Talks, which is a different version of TEDx, which means it is a little more open, it is easier, but it can give you a very, very effective platform to rehearse yourself. So all those who want to do it seriously will get a chance to come on Bringle Talk and experience it as a precursor to TEDx. Okay, so that will give you a practice, that will give you an experience, which I didn't have because Anshav didn't contact me before I went for TEDx. So that was unfortunate. Otherwise, I would have also done that. So we'll have Bringle as a rehearsal, as a platform where we can practice ourselves. Right. Now, what is very, very peculiar about TEDx and is also true for any other similar platform is it is short. It is 18 minutes. Now, if you are used to a 30-second speech, elevator speech, which is taught like in BNI, for example, it takes us many months to even master that 30-second speech. 1-minute speech, 2-minute speeches are difficult, but they're still manageable. But 18 minutes is neither so short that you can mug it up. It is not something that you can just do in 2 minutes and get away with it. Nor is it long enough that you can recover. In a 1-hour speech, you can, if you think you're falling short of time, you have this time for adjustment. But in TEDx, there's no time for adjustment. So that is why the duration of it makes it very peculiar. Then the demand is that it has to be powerful. A powerful message delivered powerfully. And when it comes to powerful delivery, it involves a lot of things like innovation. Did you use the right prop? Did you start in the beginning? I would like you to start observing how different TEDx talks start. And when my TEDx talk comes on the YouTube, which should come in about 2 weeks from now, 1 to 2 weeks, notice how I started. I spend a little time to see how can I make my start different. Whether you use a prop, whether you use a story, whether you do some acting. I've seen a person coming on the red spot and falling down. And then he falls down and on the floor while lying down, he says, when I fall down in life, do I get up again? Or do I keep lying down here? And then he tells you a story of how he fell down in life and stood up. What a beautiful way of expressing. So when I say it's powerful, powerful is the way you bring about that idea, the way you catch attention of the people, and you build it up in a story that keeps them engaged through and through. Okay. Now let me explain this, and this is the most crucial part, and that's the audience. Tell me, how many of you have recorded a YouTube video in a studio and uploaded on YouTube? Just write YouTube. So when you say YouTube, for me, it will mean that yes, you have recorded a YouTube video and uploaded it on YouTube. And I'll say it was simple. Why? If it is not a live recording, you did it in a studio or you did it in front of your own camera, if you made a mistake, you re-record it. You could edit. You had a nice editor. He says, sir, don't worry, you speak what you want to speak. Whenever you get fumbled, stop there, start again, and I will cut out all the unnecessary parts. So that is one way of going on to spreading a message online. You don't have any audience, nobody is watching you, you can make a mistake, you can rectify it. Can you do that on TEDx? No. You've got 100 to 200 people or more sitting in front of you. There's no re-recording. Editing, yes, there is a slide editing possible, but Please don't start your drawing on the dashboard, please. Anshav, I don't know, can't we not give this facility to anyone? Why is somebody drawing a yellow line on the thing? Okay. The next thing I'm telling you is, so one is that you're talking in front of a camera, but you're also talking in front of an audience. Now, for speakers who speak in audiences, firstly, even if you have to speak for 18 minutes on a stage without a YouTube format, without a TEDx format, you still have a live audience. You can check their responses and it is easier. But in TEDx, generally, your room is dark. You can generally not see everyone. Interaction time is very short. And what comes in your mind is that this is not the actual audience. While you are addressing 100 people today, you know that this video will be online and it will be seen by thousands and millions of people, which is that audience. So normally a good speaker would try to identify his audience and say, okay, let me find out what my audience does. So you'll try to find out whether the audience is young or old, it's women or children, it is scientists or art people, it is HR people or marketing people. You can pitch accordingly. But my audience on TEDx is the world over, all colors, caste, creed, religions, communities, genders, ages. I am talking to a universal crowd. Now this mix of an audience, this mix of the duration, this mix of the online and offline makes TEDx a very unique platform. And to be able to go and deliver there requires totally a different skill set. And that is why I say TEDx is a different ballgame. None of your other speaking skills can be applied directly. They have to be adapted. So I am talking about how will you adapt to the TEDx format. Now preparing for TEDx. What is the first thing? The process. I'm going to tell you about the process. And the first thing is, from today onwards, start writing down 2, 3, 4 ideas that you have and narrow down. You'll probably need the help of a mentor or a coach who can help you discuss those ideas and say whether that idea is sellable or not sellable. When I say sellable is acceptable. Will many people listen to it? Will people get engaged to it? So the idea, because TEDx is about ideas worth spreading. So the most important thing, even when you go and register on TEDx, he says, what will you speak on? So if firstly your idea is not ready, you can't even go and fill your nomination form. You can't go to a college and say, I want to speak on TEDx. First thing he'll say is, what do you want to speak on? And then you can't say, I'll think about it. So the first step is create an idea straight away. The second thing is, then when your idea is ready, your content is ready in a good format. And as I said, it will be good if you can get a mentor, get a friend, somebody who can help you out with that. So apply and get, and then you apply. I told you won't get invited straight away if you do it on the TED.com and events. So then you go and look for events and find out which are your local TEDx talks going on in your city or in the neighboring cities. And then go to each one of them. They all have their own websites. They all have their nomination forms. Like the nomination forms for TEDx Pune are open right now. And they'll be open for another week. So that's a hint for somebody who's already ready with an idea, ready with a speech. TEDx Pune is coming up very soon. Right. So once you have done that, the next one is prepare the content. So when you've got the content, structure it. When you write, it should be 2000 words because 18 minutes will transfer to, you should always prepare your content for 16 minutes and leave about 2 minutes for audience response or unforeseen circumstances, or you may go a little slower on the stage, or you may have some pauses which you didn't cater for, including, I said, audience response. They start clapping. And when they start clapping, you stop for a while. So prepare for 16 minutes. And about 2,000 words content is generally a yardstick. But then you rehearse it and fine tune. So you prepare a content, read it out. If it is more, delete, edit. So you'll keep doing it a couple of times till you say that my content is ready now. Then you do rehearsals. Okay, and I'll talk about rehearsals a little later in details. But let me tell you the most important part. And I have been going without rehearsals for n number of talks, but TED Talk, you cannot go without rehearsal. And not one, not two, not 10. At least 20, 30, 40 rehearsals, depending on what is your confidence level. After you've done the rehearsal, what do you do? Can somebody guess? After rehearsal, what do you do? Please put it in your chat box. What would you do after rehearsal? I want to see quickly some people on the chat box to tell me what would you do after rehearsal. And I want to see some of them before I go further. I'm not getting any responses to what after rehearsal. Talk to myself. Prepare mentally for the live talk. Take mentor suggestions. Okay, present before known people, that is Naresh. Yes, that's a very good idea. Yeah, Naresh only, okay, Muhammad Fayasteen. Okay, I didn't know you joined in. Thank you, Muhammad. So he says do it in front of family or friends. And Jan Tiwari says talk to a group of your family friends. Show it to your spouse. Now that's very, very dangerous, sir. My spouse would always, she's my best mentor. Let me tell you, she gives you the absolutely good advice. But that absolutely good advice sometimes is not very easily gulpable. Akshay says record how to speak and improve. Prepare a talk on YouTube and share it with limited group for peer window. That is what Anup says. And Nikhil says talk in front of a mock audience. Speak in front of a mirror. Okay, these are some very good ideas. Thank you very much. And I'm very happy. Congratulations for being a very participative audience. I love this. I love you all for your participation and it's wonderful. Now, I will tell you after rehearsal, rehearse. The next step is rehearse. What is the next step after that? Is again rehearse. So what I'm coming to is, that has been my weakness. I am not very fond of rehearsals. But in TEDx, I realized that you have to rehearse, and then you have to rehearse. And we'll go into that format a little later when I talk to you about the 5 most important things about TED. We'll talk about that later. Okay. So now I'm coming to the most important part of the talk. And this is the main area which I'm going to spend some time. So we said we'll finish at 12, but I think it'll take about 10-15 minutes more. Is it okay with you all? Please write yes if it is okay to go for another 15 minutes. Right. Thank you very much. Anand says yes. And Jan says yes. Bringle says yes. That is most important because they are the ones who are spending money on it. And their team is working on a Sunday. Very, very good. Thank you, Bringle team. Okay. And Simdhari Janki Vani. Okay, I didn't know. Thank you very much for coming. I'm seeing some names that I didn't know. I didn't know Prakash was online. Thank you, Prakash, for being here. Yeah. So most people are saying yes. And if somebody really needs to go at 1 o'clock, you can, 12 o'clock, you can go and you can assess the recording. But I am going to give a gift to everyone today, a surprise gift. And that will only come to you when we are closing. So those who have the patience to stay back, those who are ready to invest 4,000 seconds will get a gift from me, a free gift. I don't know why people say free gift. Is there a paid gift? But in the terminology everywhere they say, oh, free gift. But gift has to be free, yes. Okay, right. So 5 areas of focus. Let me talk one by one. I've covered them in a slight detail earlier, but now I'm going to cover them in a little more detail. One is the idea. So the first thing that you have to focus on when it comes to TEDx is idea, because there are ideas worth spreading. What should be an idea? Idea has to be something that people would have either never heard about it. So it should be a new idea, or it should be an adapted idea. Adapted idea means, like, there was bread. People used to bake bread. People used to have pineapple. People had cheese, but they didn't have a pizza. Facebook. Now, Facebook is not an idea. Internet was already there. Okay, YouTube was there. Images were there. Videos were there. Okay, what had happened? Somebody just collected all these ideas and put them into a combination. So idea has to be something which should excite people, with either something that they enhance their life with, makes their life comfortable, makes it easier. If somebody was doing something, like for example, this idea today, you were doing it in 2 years. I did TEDx in 2 years, and I'm saying, I'll tell you how you can do it in 6 months. So an idea must lead to something powerful, which a person has a good take home from. That yes, after this, after I listen to these 18 minutes of TED Talk, I go back home and apply this, and my life changes, or I get a benefit. There is something to get from, there's something to benefit from. So start developing this idea, and all the time develop these ideas. One of the ways I will recommend very strongly, and I do it on a daily basis, every single day of my life, except when it's very hectic, I'm traveling and all, could lose out. But let's say at least 5 days in a week, if not more, I watch at least 3 TEDx talks. When I'm saying TEDx, means TEDx, TED, or any YouTube channel, I see them. When you see TEDx talks, every talk will give you an idea. And some of them will give you a lead to some idea, and your ideas already in your mind will get sparked. They'll get ignited. Capture them. Today, open a Word document and say, my ideas. And anytime you get an idea, please go and put it on that. And save this file in the cloud, so you don't lose your diary, you don't lose your, lose nothing. You have this available. You don't let your ideas go. You don't forget your ideas. You don't let your ideas vanish and disappear. Okay. I will also give you a link on TEDx where you can go and subscribe, and I've done it. I get one TEDx talk, selected TEDx talk in my mailbox every day. So every day you can get it weekly, you can get it daily, and there are subjects. So you can decide which are the subjects that interest you. So you are interested in politics, are you interested in leadership, are you interested in sports, are you interested in mountaineering? Whatever you say, you will get TED Talks related to that subject every day in your mailbox. And if you decide to spend those, or not spend, invest those 3, 4, 5 minutes on TEDx talks, you will get ideas. And every time you watch, stop after that and write down 2, 3 things that what have you learned from this particular TED talk, from this particular video. Okay, it could be a content idea, it could be a presentation idea. Please keep jotting them down. And this is one of the very, very powerful things you can do. The next step I want to talk about is the structure. Now, there's a structure to a TED talk. First 30 seconds or less will decide whether people want to listen to you or not. So when you'll watch my TEDx talk, it said, or should I leave it as a surprise? Okay, I'll just tell you the first sentence. I had a chocolate in my pocket. I took it out and I said, this chocolate is for the first person who gets this answer right. And then my question followed. First 10 seconds, does everyone pop out his eyes and say, oh, what is he saying? What's going to happen? Build up a little curiosity. Then your idea should be developed, and developed in a very interesting way so that nobody can take his eyes off you, and build it up to a climax. On your timer at that point of time, when you have come to a climax, when you have come to a thing where people say, "Aur batao na kya hua?" On your timer, it should be anything between 7 and 10 minutes. That's the time your climax should have come. It could even go to 12 if your ultimate idea implementation is not that long. And now it should keep going down and point out in the last 2 minutes, people are waiting, what do I take back? And you have to end up as something which is very powerful. Your last sentence should make people jump out of their seats and give you a standing ovation. So the structure has to be very well designed, and there are people who will help you. There are people who will help you to design the structure. Okay, join Toastmasters. Join any such forum where you can get practice, and they will teach you. Toastmasters teaches you how to design a structure extremely well. The next one is content. Now, once you've got the structure, which means you've got the base. So you say, I'll start like this. So this is my start line. This is my build up. This is my couple of 3-4 points that'll come. This is my climax. This is my end point. Now you put that into a framework where words matter, where props matter, where expressions matter, where a PowerPoint matters. Now people ask questions like, is it necessary to have a PowerPoint? No, it's not necessary till the PowerPoint is giving a very important message. Till it is adding, it should not divert attention. Those 200 eyes are on you. Let those eyes not shift from you to the PowerPoint if that PowerPoint is not adding to a point. So if it is an image, if it is a video clip, if it is something that is adding on, then do it. But please don't write or don't make PowerPoints which people are expected to read, except if it is a quote or something like that. So important that you design your content, read it, even take professional help of somebody who can do good editing. But a word of caution here. The moment you do this, reading and speaking are two different things. So if you get into too much of a written content and then you read it out and mug it up, you will never sound logical. You'll never sound authentic. And please mark somewhere, authenticity is my very, very strong suggestion. Whatever you are, it should look like your story. It should be coming from your heart. No matter if you make a mistake, no matter if your language goes wrong, no matter what happens, but it should look like it's coming from your heart. It's your story. You mean it. You're not faking it. If you mug up a speech and you have other people's ideas, so you can take ideas what gels with you, then put it away and speak it out. So I've been doing that. You record your audio. Then you listen to your audio with your eyes closed and say, is this what you meant? And then you edit that means wherever you speak, and you spoke a little differently, because when you read, in a natural thing, you'll speak a little differently. Now write down. That means your speech should be derived. It has to be written speech read out, then spoken speech re-edited. That is the way I did it. If you have a better way, I like to be educated. So that is how you design your content. The next thing is rehearsals. So now some people have already said that. So the first thing is when you design your content, it is a 2000 words content. You have timed it out. It comes to your 14, 15, 16 minutes. 16 should be the upper limit. When you've done that, now is the time to record it. So record it. Possibly only once or twice record a reading, just to get an idea of the time. Then put your reading away and record without looking at a script. And then see where all are you missing out on things. See how you can memorize that. Means in your mind, there have to be cues that after this point is this point and this point. Your entire idea of 18 minutes should be something like 6 to 7 points, 8 points. It can't be 20 points. So if there are 6 subheadings, it's something like a book. There are those chapters, 6 chapters. One chapter should lead to the other chapter. And that should be in a story format in a way that you don't suddenly turn blank and say, what's the next step? Some things you will forget. But who cares? Your script is not with the audience. They don't know what you forgot. As long as you confidently carry on and don't say, oh my God, I forgot. Okay, so as long as you are not fumbling, as long as your flow doesn't get disrupted, nobody knows what you missed out. If you missed out, let it go. Doesn't matter. So do rehearsals. Now, once you have done your audio rehearsals, now is the time to do a video rehearsal. Now record your video and watch your video a couple of times. Once you're done with that, now is the time to get a friend. Preferably, I'll say take one friend. Take somebody who knows it. Take somebody who has been on TEDx. So I picked up a young boy called Harsimran Singh. He's a Toastmaster expert. I just got to know him and I said, will you help me? And grateful to him, he came all the way to my house. I did a rehearsal in front of him and he gave me excellent feedback. Now you have to look for somebody like that. Don't look for somebody who's going to say, oh, very good, yeah, you are an excellent speaker. You're going to rock. All that is not required. You have to say, how can I do it better? So get hold of a friend who's preferably who's done TEDx or who's good at it. Then get a mock audience, 4, 5, 6, 10 people and ask them to listen to it. I did not do it in front of an audience ever. I never got that chance. But what I did was, I recorded my video and sent it to about 10 of my friends. And said, please watch this video and tell me where all I can improve. And each one of my 10 friends, not a single one who didn't reply. And some of them, thanks to my friends like Kiruba Shankar and Praveen from PSAI, very, very helpful people. And there's another person called Rajendran. I haven't even met him. I just met him, maybe shook hands, but I've not met him when. And I must tell you, even yesterday when I asked him, he's given some good tips. So this community of speakers is a good community. People help each other. While be very happy to give help, be as good to receive help. Don't hesitate in asking for help. It's a very good habit. The next thing I'm talking about, so rehearsals. And yeah, one more thing. We were a little unfortunate where I went. This college did not have the stage available. There was some other program going on there. There was a shift in the venue. There was a little chaos on that. So I did not get to rehearse on the stage even once. But most TEDx formats, people who do it well, will call all the speakers a day earlier. And all speakers speak in front of the organizers at least once or twice before the actual performance. So rehearsals on the actual stage are good. They make you get a feel of the stage from where you walk in. You get to see the audience. You get to see the width. You know how much left and right movement is required and things like that. And if you are in a hall like we were in CPA, please make sure, because that is quite a 180 degrees hall. You have to turn your face quite to the right and to the left. If you don't do this sweeping thing, some of your audience will never connect with you. Okay, so that comes to the importance of rehearsals. And the last thing I told you about audience, I've already actually covered it. And I want to just reiterate, your audience is not the camera. Your audience is not the people sitting in the hall. Your audience is everyone. The camera is your audience. The audience in the hall is your audience. And the most important audience is the unknown universal audience that's going to watch you. So while you're looking at this audience and keeping those 200 people, 100 people engaged in the hall, please keep your ultimate aim of telling yourself that I'm being watched by millions of people. That is very important. While I'm being watched by thousands and millions of people, I'm not nervous. I don't lose my authenticity. I don't lose my natural stance. I don't lose my accent. I am natural. If somebody asks me for my very personal opinion, this is the thing. The most important thing. Do I go on the stage and say, oh, I'm Brigadier Bhasin and I will talk to you? The moment you do that, people know you are putting up. You've got friends who listen to you. Be absolutely natural, authentic. And then you have friends who are important to you. You have family members. They will say, Salah jhoot bol raha hai. Aisa thodi karta hai. Don't be talking of things that you don't believe in. Don't talk. I do a lot of things that I don't. So I may be talking of things that I don't do. For example, I'll say, you must get up at 5 o'clock. And I don't get up at 5 o'clock. But I say in my book, $1 Million Seconds, which is coming out next week, I've said it. I've said it through and through that book. That I am not only telling you what I did very well, I'm also telling you lots of things where I went wrong. And I'm saying, if I went wrong and I learned this lesson, please don't do it. And there may be something that at the age of 67, I'm finding it difficult to adjust to a new habit. But if I tell you and you're 16 and 18 and 20, what stops me from telling you that this is a bad habit I have? Please don't pick up this bad habit. But be natural. Don't tell people I get up at 5 a.m. every day when you get up at 10. People will catch it. And your own self, you will not look natural. Something will show people that he is saying something different than what he is meaning. Okay, so that's all that I had to say on this. And I will want you to, I'll stop sharing my window here. I want to now get into the chat format. I want you to quickly ask me questions and we will even go and unmute some people to answer your questions. So please tell me any questions you have. Okay, so Mohammed is saying thank you. Mohammed, I am 67 years young. You tell me, how old are you? Okay. Yes, Nikhil, how do you ensure that the topics are not duplicated? One, of course, is that if you are, oh, Mohammed, I'm very happy to see you're 14, but you're 14 years old and I'm 67 years young. That's the difference. So please stop saying you're old. Let me see your smile at least. I can see you and you're still looking very serious. Mohammed, let me see you smile. No, he is still adamant. Or is it, are you frozen? Ah, now I can see your smile. Good. Okay. Yes, we'll give you all the links. All the links I've spoken will be given to you. Okay, we are coming back to Nikhil. How do you ensure that the topic is not duplicated? So firstly, of course, if it's very original, like if I, in TEDx, I must also tell you that when the Mumbai college said that time management and talking about value, importance and relevance of time, which is my subject of my book coming out, that is $1 Million Second, they said that is not a very popular subject. When I went to TEDx HCST, where I spoke in February, when they asked me again, I gave the same subject and they also said, sir, I thought you're from the army and I wanted you to talk about some army stories and all. And I very quickly, intelligently, smartly turned the subject into what the army taught me about time. So I've told them about the army and I've told them about time. But what I've said, I don't have to check whether it's duplicate or not, because that is my story and it can't be yours. And if I have not said it elsewhere, nobody else could. So that's the way. I can hear some sounds. Okay. So I want you to tell your story. Your story is your story. How can it be duplicate? But if you have an idea, I'll tell you, go and Google for that subject. Then go to TED and on TEDx, search for that subject. Go to YouTube, search for that subject. And please search on various keywords that can go associated with that subject. That is, I think, the best way of finding out. If there's anything more to finding out, please let me know. That's all what I can talk about. So Mohammed is saying, who's your inspiration? Well, many people have inspired me, many of them. My earliest inspiration was my grandfather. When I was a child, I think I got very highly inspired by him and my mother. So I always say that they were my best teachers. Then I've had a couple of teachers in life, but right after I left the army and I got into this training environment, my inspiration are two, three people. One is Tony Robbins. I've gone to Sydney. I've gone to Singapore to attend his workshops. I've seen hundreds of his videos, read many of his books, and I follow him very, very religiously. Another person I follow is Brian Tracy, who's my goal-setting author. And he's also, so I've attended 3 of his programs. I've met him at the NAC, and he's also endorsed my book. So that's one very, very lucky thing for me. So Brian Tracy. Then, of course, in Train the Trainer, I've got a person called Blair Singer, and another person is Alex Mendonsian. So these are the people who have inspired me. And all these people also belong to T. Harvekar's group. So T. Harvekar himself is an inspiration. And another person in India who inspires all trainers, speakers is Suren, Success Gyan. I must tell you, these are Success Gyan is doing a very, very authentic, genuine thing called Inspiring India. So if you haven't done their programs, they have a program called MMI. If you have not heard of Success Gyan, if you have not heard of MMI, please go to their website and go and attend the first MMI program in your city or around your city. It's very, 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 very important program. It can change the way you think about life. It'll change the way you think about money. Okay, Amit says, thank you, sir. How personal should a speaker get with the topic? Can we give a TEDx talk at a place that's not really TED related? As the audience may not connect with our thought. But if you're going on a TEDx platform, Amit, you'll have to be in a TEDx environment, unless you're talking about the TED TV type and only the audio type. I'm not too sure whether I can answer that question. But you'll have to connect with an imaginary audience which will be watching you on YouTube, that is for sure. TEDx also has a podcast. So whether it is on a video or on an audio, you will have to connect with some type of an audience. If there's anything else, please take offline with me. I'd like to understand your question better and maybe we can answer that. Harjot, yeah, you're welcome. My time is your time. And as long as it adds value to people, I'm very happy sharing it. I've heard a lot about you and I came here to see your charm, and let me tell you, thank you very much, Harjot. That's very kind of you. Again, I'm very authentic. I'm very genuine. I love to see how I can help people. And I've done it for hundreds of people without charging a penny. But it's not always that you don't charge. When you are a professional, you charge also. But I've never told somebody that I'll do this if you give me money. Okay, right. MMI is happening in April in Mumbai. That's right. I've told everyone, please go and join it. Thanks for sharing tips, says Anup. Yeah, you're welcome. Anyone else? Okay. Bringle says that Amit has been unmuted. Harjot has been unmuted. So Harjot, can you have one by one? First, Amit, can you say something? You're unmuted, so come on your video and tell us what you want to say. And after that, Harjot, be ready.
Uh-oh. I am unable to.
Amit, okay, so we say your name. Yeah, Amit, now I can see you. Yeah, good. Yeah.
So I have been giving a lot of talks to colleges and universities, but they are mainly related to communication skills and all. Coming to TEDx topic, I have always wanted to share, something very personal experience, and that helped me improve a lot of, faith and, trust in God and all those things, and, helped me become a better person while passing through a very difficult phase in my life. Now, if I have to give a TEDx talk, hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I have to give a TEDx talk on something that is, so personal, I mean, would a TEDx audience, in a proper TEDx environment, be receptive to such a talk?
My answer is yes, and a very capital yes. That's why I say listen to and watch a lot of TED Talks. You will find that there are so many people are so personal, and there are topics which are not talked of,
Right.
including sex, which people have talked of in a manner, and most ladies, they have had the courage to come up. And even those, there were two ladies here who are on breaking barriers. The other day, and just 2 days back, I'm talking about that a girl who was on the stage said that we women believe that a woman should look like this, and we believe that I should look like Aishwarya Rai and I should look like blah blah blah. And she says, I was told as a child that you will never be popular, no man will ever love you because you have such small breasts. And then she was standing on the stage and saying, I'm lovable, I'm acceptable, you all people are listening to me, and I still have small breasts. If people can talk like this personally, I'm saying, Amit, what can stop you? I just gave you this example to tell you to the limit people can go personal.
Agreed.
So there's no problem. Please don't. And actually, the more personal you get, the more engaged you are with the audience. Because hearts of hearts, everyone has similar thing. Then they say, "Yaar, mera bhi to yahi problem hai." And when you can get a feeling where people resonate with you and say, "Oh, he's not very different. Yaar, he's also like me," or "I am also very normal. I'm not abnormal."
And I think it also helps us be more authentic and down to earth.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let me tell you, your success stories don't sell as much as your failure stories sell.
Oh, very true. Right.
So in my first book called Designing Your Life, there is one chapter called Failure as a Tool for Learning. And there's a lady from USA whom I didn't know. She was a Facebook friend. And she has spoken on a Facebook Live quoting that chapter and say the best thing I like about this book is failure as a tool for learning. And tell me, social media being what it is, I wrote something in a book and I didn't know that some lady who's not known to me would read that book in USA and on her own, without my asking her or requesting her, come on a Facebook Live. And then I didn't watch that Facebook Live. And she says, do you know I spoke about your book? And this is the link, go and see. Then I saw that as in the retrospective effect.
Right.
Get personal, please. Talk about your failures, talk about your shortcomings. As long as the shortcomings bring a lesson. As long as you tell how you learned a lesson and overcame. How you connected with people because of that. It should, you can't talk about failure and leave it there.
Very true. Very true, sir.
So there should be a take home. There should be a takeaway. Okay. So thank you very much, Amit. I think you should unmute yourself now and let's see what Harjot has to say.
Hi,
Sure.
sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi.
Mohammed, are you wanting to say something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sir,
please go ahead. Yeah.
you started this from your younger age, from 12 or something.
Yeah. So that was like talking in school. Yes.
I wanted to know that in this journey, what are the difficulties you faced? How was your family supporting you? And what are the difficulties? I wanted to ask this. Have you ever feared a lot in this stage and showed your fear to the audience?
Muhammad, for me, really, that's what I said, because I started speaking when I was in class 7. I really don't remember. Yes, I spoke at an inter-school declamation contest, and that too in Hindi. So it was, I still remember, Akhil Bharatiya Vaad Vivad Pratyogita. And I went there and I had to speak in Hindi. And when I went, I found some other children from some other schools. I was from Sainik School, Kapurthala. And there was some children from RIMC. And we as Sainik School used to think RIMC is much better than us. And then there were some people from St. Joseph's Academy and all. And when I was talking to them before going on the stage, I thought that they spoke such better Hindi than me. I got nervous. And when I went on the stage for the first about 30 seconds, I was trembling. And I stood behind the rostrum so that my legs could be seen shivering and trembling. But Then I moved out. And I normally from my childhood don't like to stand in the rostrum. And one thing I forgot to tell you guys, TEDx, you are talking on that red spot. For me, that red spot is such an imprisonment. So when we finished with the talk and the recording was over, then they gave me 5 minutes of question answers with the audience. And now I could walk across the stage. And normally, if you have seen my presentations and all, you will find I walk into the audience. And I love to engage with the audience one-on-one. So, Mohammed, to answer your question, I even if it didn't happen with me, and even if it happens with you, it is just a conversation with yourself. Go and stand in front of the mirror. Do an exercise called mirroring exercise. I'll tell you later. We can do on a one-to-one on a Zoom one.
Sir, there is a request.
Yeah.
People are leaving, so we can take the question and answers little after that. I think you have an announcement.
Answers a little later, so let me finish with what I'm. Okay. So, Mohammed, I'll talk to you one-on-one on this because it is a Sunday afternoon. People are still to have lunch, and there'll be family commitments. So let's be a little more considerate to them. Okay. So let me come back to my presentation. Just a second. No. Oh no, where have I gone? Anshav, yeah, okay. I was not being able to see my screen. Just a second. Oh my God, where am I? I've lost my screen. Where is it gone?
Just hover a mouse a little bit, you will get something on the bottom. At the bottom, you will find a share option. Next to the chat window.
Got it. Okay. I've got it. And I'm trying to get my share screen. Okay, here it is. Okay, sorry for this little interruption, and technology does sometimes cause confusion to me. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Not as of now.
I have said, sorry, where is it gone? Live. Share. Okay, sorry, I was making a mistake. Yeah, I think now my screen should be visible. Is it? Is my screen visible, I'm asking?
Yeah, it is visible, sir.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. And I'm just coming to my presentation. Yeah, okay, right. Okay, now I'm saying if you're serious, so this much I have told you. If you ask me more questions, you ring me up and say how to do something on TEDx, I'll tell you. But if you want to go in a structured way and you want to prepare yourself in 2 to 6 months time, depending on where you are right now, and you want a hand holding with me, then we have a program set up with Bringle Academy, and Bringle Academy and I will bring together to you something which is very, very effective, very powerful, and we have done as well as we could do to help you in a way that you will like it. Okay. So we are going to do a mentoring and a coaching session on the Bringle Academy platform. This will have 8 weekly sessions of 1 hour each. We will start somewhere in the first week of June, and there'll be 8 sessions, 60 minutes, once a week. We'll most probably do it on a Saturday, and time is 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., which is universal, so that all over the world it can be convenient. Firm dates will be announced soon, but generally, tentatively, we'll start from 1st June every Saturday for 8 Saturdays. Okay, so all those who are interested in such sessions, can you please in the chat box say yes? Are you interested? If you are really wanting to become a TEDx speaker and you want my help along with Bringle Academy to bring you to bring you to a standard, to bring you to handhold you, make you rehearse, help you with your script, help you with your content, and walk you through the entire process, guiding you and mentoring you, coaching you. If you like that, say yes in your chat box. So can I see some yeses?
You have a lot of yeses.
Okay, right. So let's go further and say, the question is, what is my price? Okay, so it is 6,999 for an online program, or it is 149 US dollars for people who are not in India. And this is for 8 sessions. But if you want to be present, for example, you are in a city where we'll do it in some co-working space where you will be physically present with me in a workshop and others will be watching it, then it'll be 9,999. So this is for the entire program, which will take you through to making you prepared for a TED Talk. Okay. Now, if you really work out and work out per session, you will find that this is less than 1,000 rupees a session. And you'll all agree that in today's world, that is not a price that can be said is not affordable. But for you people today who have spent their Sunday and who have stayed on till now, I have a very different price. And Anshav has gone berserk and he says, sir, let's do it at a phenomenal price, which nobody can say no to. And with a lot of calculations to say that we'll give it away at cost price, we will not make profits. We have come to a very special price. Now, how many of you want to know that price, which is available today? So please say yes, special price. How many people want to know the special price? So here is the special price. Can somebody guess? Okay, let me see somebody guessing what the price could be. And please be reasonable. It can't be zero. And please don't say that the price is minus this, that you will have to pay me if I come and listen to you. Yeah. So here is the price. It's 50% off for today. Please remember that it'll be 3,499 rupees or $75 for an online and 4,999 and 99 US dollars for a offline program where you actually get to attend 8 sessions physically in the same environment as me. Or it could be another town where somebody else will be there, but you will be physically attending it. So these are the options available. If you want to do that, you have to register today. This offer is available for 24 hours. It will close at 12 p.m. tomorrow. Tomorrow, Monday morning, 1st April, and it's not a 1st April fool. Let me announce that very, very short. So, and now attendees can view your polling results. Do you aspire to be a TEDx speaker? We had 100% people. There were 16 people who voted. All 100% wanted to be there. Have you ever spoken at TEDx? It was no, that means none of them had spoken. And do you want to be on the stage yet in the process of overcoming fear? 11% people said yes, and 69% people said yes. That is 11 people, and 5% people said no. So they are quite okay. Confidence levels are there. But TEDx, they really want to do. And do you watch more than 5 TEDx talks a week? Only 4% people said that, and that's 25%. So I want all of you to start that today onwards. Okay. So thank you very much for the poll results, Anshav. Let's get back to, can you turn the poll off? Can you have the poll window off? Okay. Then I come to the next slide and say that all of you today who are here right now, please say MDS in your chat box and I will send you the revise. Some people may have already got it earlier, but now that the final book is ready and going for printing, I will give you the 3 first chapters and the content on a PDF file in 2 days' time. That comes to you for having been here for 1 hour on a Sunday morning. So thank you very much. If you have enjoyed it, please share this with your friends on social media. All those who want to be on TEDx, want any help from us, let us know. And we will occasionally come with even free webinars like this, because we are here to share knowledge and not only to make money. Okay, but that is a profession. So making money is also a part of it, but it does not stop us from sharing. Sharing is first and money is later. So thank you very much for being with us this Sunday. If there are any questions, write on the chat box. Join the WhatsApp group which has been formed, and let us continue to work on this project, and let us see. My excitement and my journey will come with how many people am I really able to see on the TEDx platform as beautifully as possible. When they come, not only come on TEDx platform, but they cross 1 million views on YouTube. Thank you, friends.